Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the new Segway GT3 Pro scooter, doing a little pre-hacking on it, so to speak. A lot of times when a new consumer product comes out, you can find a good bit of information, like for example in the FCC files. But it seems like Segway uses they just use a single unified Bluetooth module for just about everything. And yeah, there's not really anything good to see there. So I'm going to start with a rundown of what the GT3 Pro offers and comparing to some of the other models Segway has right now. Uh, the ZT3 is an off-road style that's built like the GT3. Looks like a neat little chassis. The Max G3 is the one that everyone's super excited about because they're cheap and fast. The GT3 is the first one in this lineup that really looks like it's designed to withstand being ridden in water. The Max takes the approach of having a bunch of holes on the bottom for the water to drip out of. These bigger two units look like they're really, the chassis is sort of like a bucket on the bottom, and so I think they're going to do a lot better with that. But the big thing, everything was the same until the GT3 Pro came along and bumped the battery voltage up significantly. So, along with those specs, this kind of brings it a little bit more into perspective. Yeah, we went from what people thought was a pretty good ride to, well, some kind of ridiculous ride. So yeah, people have gotten this GT3. I know they've gotten it, up to 31, I think, with some custom firmware stuff. This GT3 looks like it may have some capabilities there as well. And then just yeah, obviously uh, you pay for the battery and the number of motors because 117 pounds unloaded. So it's gonna be a bear to kind of chuck around there. But thought I'd start with just some screenshots I've been doing of various internet resources. So yeah, if we look at a G3, there's a built-in battery charger. Then there's a controller that mounts down in the bottom. It looks like that. On the top, there's a power converter. This sort of layout seems standard, or about the same as the consistent across some of the other models. Yeah, where this is nice is that we can see everybody's got a similar pinout. So I spent a bunch of time jumping down, what it takes to flash a Max G3 scooter. Uh, the capacitor that you have to ground. Here's a close-up of that wireless module. NB BT100. There's a PBT written below that. So that is pretty much Segway's Bluetooth module that we see a lot of places. That's like the only one they have. So there's that. All right, and so here a little bit more just tear down. This is the ZT3. It's actually very similar to the GT3 in the way that it's got this inner bucket almost, and then these support bars that go over the top of it. But there we see the same sort of controller, and I was really excited about mapping out all these pinouts because it looks like everybody uses the same BMS or battery plug. Wanted to add the ambient lighting to the GT3. I was very excited. It's some sort of 3-pin something. Yep. And then, all right. And then for whatever reason, I decided it would be more fun to continue taking screenshots from the couch. So here we are on the iPad. So this is a close-up of the sort of a standard Segway, what we thought was, the G3 sort of genre. That's what it looks like in a GT3. They've got it in there, and same pinout, so I was excited by that. And this one cable in the middle is like the brake light, the 2 rear turn signals, and probably the headlight. The one on the left is the BMS. The one at the bottom is the main control cable that heads up to the dash. And then apparently is also responsible for reading the Hall effect sensors that are on the rear motor. So that's cool, and if we keep taking apart, there's this white gooey blob. I guess maybe that's a fuse on the charging line, because that's the battery and the BMS on the left. Yeah, and you can see on the right, there's a greasy spot from the heatsink. I guess the back side is where the MOSFETs or whatever are at. Yeah, so that's all. Okay, cool. Segway and their platform, and we'll get the pinouts, and we'll use some of the standard tools that people have been using on the Macs and so forth. And yeah, so the controller, there's a little bit more going on than some of the other controllers, but the assumption would be that it was a similar bus, because everything else is the same. And yeah, more pictures of that. Okay, and then, so that was everything until now. And this is the GT3 Pro. So the first thing that, strikes me is there's a lot more battery there. So, yeah, so 72 volts. And where this whole back section was empty on the regular GT3, this one is packed full. I lost my screen. That's right. And so a little bit more, take apart there. We can see the rear suspension. And they're using the same sort of design for that voltage regulator there. That's that little. That's what we're looking at there. That's connected into the battery system, and I'm sorry, it plugs into the controller, and I presume gives power for the headlight and stuff. So this is what we're looking at now in terms of cables. Let's see if I can get myself off the screen a little bit. Oh, there's that. So yeah, whole new kind of cable. So there we can see, sort of in the take apart. That's the controller down in there. You'll see more. Yeah, so then just an external shot of the battery. Again, giant. And so here now is the controller. So gone are the friendly, familiar grid-style plug connectors. We're now looking at, I guess it's, I don't know what we've got here, but that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge than I was expecting. This doesn't look like the kind of thing that I want to open with a screwdriver. 72 volts, and yeah, I don't know how many amps, but I imagine it's a lot. That's not what we want. In here we got a battery watt-hour spec. 2160 watt-hours. 30 amps. That's kind of a lot. In comparison, the old BMS was 20 amps that it had to dispose of in the regular GT3 there. So that's yeah, it's coming. I'm excited to watch more online service videos and see what, you know, I really would very much like to make an ST-Link style backup of the factory firmware state. Um, you know, presumably these controllers have been manufactured and on a boat for quite some time. And, you know, people are still able to break into relatively modern, relatively current Max G3 things. So I ran across another, yeah, completely switching gears here. I ran across a little bit more information on those modems. Looking at those Sierra wireless units. So turns out there's a mode that's more exciting than yeah, bootloader mode or factory mode or whatever called. I can't remember it now, but I found this tool that claimed to do all the stuff. EL. It was specific to this series. Yeah, so apparently, you know, you're worried about getting malware in your, you know, from the App Store. There's plenty of possibilities in actually the individual chipsets that make up the peripherals that make up your phone in the first place. So yeah, here we see that somebody's found something great. Oh, it's current. Um, Against the Qualcomm chips, they're in lots of stuff. So yeah, apparently Intel's modems have never been not terrible. So I got as far as reading this. What I wanted to find was the unlock thing. What's that? Unlock. There it was. Oh, if I could type, maybe it would like it in all caps. So did it require it capital, or was it just terrible typing? All right. Does in fact. No, only the AT has to be capitalized. What a strange. How about that? All right. Anyway, calculate AT unlock with the yeah, whatever that thing was called. PDL. Sierra Keygen sounds like a winner. Yes. There's the 7455. Okay. I feel like I did this. I can open map. All right, that gives us a number. And what about that one? Windows. All right, so whether those do different things is unknown, but huh. Okay. Let's get one more terminal window. -L-D. Uh, 755. So we take this algorithm. Too many windows. Is that it? All right, so that'll be a second. What did that just tell me to do? Sure. There's some goodies here. Yeah, you may want to look up this project. Oh, Raspberry Pi 3. So it does have 4 physical cores, and I believe they're clocked it up to 1.4 in this unit. It's the later revision. One of the things that kills the 3 is just the amount of RAM. This is the 3B, so the larger model, and it's only got a gig. So at least the 4s with 8 gig, now, finally RAM is not a limitation. No, there's too much reading. All right, where did that leave me? I wish you could just ignore that. Requirements satisfied. Okay. Can I not just have an older typing extensions? Do I really have to? Yes, please. Yes, backported and experimental. All right, now will that remember anything? It almost sounds like I need to uninstall those typing extensions 490. Maybe I'm gonna run out of patience on the Pi. Let's see, maybe there's something here. You know what? Let's just think about that later. Let's say, yeah, I never seem to get out of trial mode with VMware. No. No. How was I doing that even? So then login items. Doesn't explain it. Only my root user. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's magic. Maybe a personal launch agent. No. Well, I don't know. It happens somehow. All right, what IP address did I get here? Couple things there. All right, let's go back. right. Install. And then this one is specific because the firmware is something something. One thing I was a little surprised and kind of annoyed by, whatever, is yeah, they want ADB, so the Android tools in there. Wow, I should have given up on Raspberry Pi a long time ago. And then they want me to do that. Yeah, these cheese grater Mac Pros are pretty zippy. Still, it's just the amount of energy they put out is ridiculous, or requires ridiculous. As an example, here's the currently cheese grater's pulling 300 and, oh, we're pulling 375 watts here. Gets big when I start doing encoding and stuff. This is a more modest Fortnite playing machine. And this is the entire, with the servers and the routers and switches and PoEs and all right, did we get what we asked for? Did that just happen? And now we're done. Okay. Ooh, look, that works better. All right, well, we had previously. Okay. Okay. So how do I see what that did? This is where I can destroy my modem now, so. Maybe I should read the information. Well, I mean, I guess just give it to me. Okay. No, you reboot. Presumably that's to actually load, to push a firmware in there or something. But that was not really what I was looking for, so now what do we do with this? Yeah, level 3. Blah, 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 blah. What are my secret choices? mean, this is going back to that relocked it. Take that. Take it over here. How do I list all NVRAM variables? Okay, those sound like important variables. Okay. That sounds like the kind of thing I shouldn't mess with. Yep. Let's take that. How bad can that be? Set TX waveform. That doesn't really seem like the kind of command I should have. But maybe. Or if I can fix the GPS while I'm here. Yeah, I don't think it's enabled. Maybe we've been kicked out. I found that I was getting evicted from even just a level 2 command at times. Nope. I see a lot of M2M people talk about changing the SAR thing, so I don't know if that's to increase power. Air Vantage. Do I have Air Vantage? I don't think I asked for Air Vantage. Interesting. That seems strange. GCF. Oh, well, that's a command. LMN. That's cute. Voltage. Or not. All right. Well, let's see the PLMN list. Interesting. Does that really lock it? I don't think I want to do that. All right, this looks straightforward. So we will write into the NVRAM to ignore changes by the pin. Do I then write it? That seems kind of silly. It just wanted a question mark earlier. Huh, interesting. Oh, maybe I can enable the GPS module. Oh, it sure sounds like it's enabled. Well, there are plenty of commands that are beyond my competency. Standalone probably means to, yeah, transmit. All right, well, there's hundreds of pages, and I'll probably read all of them. Wow, it's like, yeah, everything I ever wanted to know. Well, it was fun to find the, yeah, secret mode. All right, well, I think I'm going to go leave it there for now. Looking forward to this upcoming scooter. And yeah, going to keep pre-hacking right away. We'll get something. Yeah, something in there needs to be hacked. Hopefully, like I said, I can make a ST-Link backup before I activate it. So yeah, so I am hoping to do a live unboxing video when that thing gets here. And yeah, maybe that'll turn into a live, I destroy it and it bursts into flames. So yeah, it may be worth tuning in for. Anyway, that's us with the stuff. And one of these windows, there it is. That's my shutdown. All right, guys, have a great day. See you later.